Lecture 14, both country and Western. Both country and Western musics grew from the soil of rural America, as singers carried with themselves stories of love, loss, home, and heartache. Songs rooted in a deep sense of place, shaped by nostalgia for the past, and stretched by the ongoing tug of war between tradition and change. In this lecture, we look at the history of country and Western music. Country and Western music sprouted from the ordinary lives of working people, including farmers, cowboys, coal miners, and railroad workers. Their songs grew out of folk traditions from the British Isles, African American blues and spirituals, Spanish guitar styles, and Native American storytelling. These roots centered storytelling and a deep connection to place, mountains, rivers, deserts, woods, small towns, and front porches. For these folk singers, music wasn't only entertainment. It was how people shared memories, values, and warns of hard times to come. In the 1920s and 30s, local traditions found their way onto radio waves and into record stores. The 1927 Bristol Sessions in Tennessee, called the Big Bang of country music, launched the career of Jimmie Rodgers and the Carter family. The Mississippi-born yodeling singing brakeman, Jimmie Rodgers sang railroad blues and cowboy ballads, and the Carter family sang mountain gospel and folk songs. Rodgers began in vaudeville and worked for the Mobile and Ohio Railroad before contracting tuberculosis in 1924 and focusing on his music career. His 1927 song, Blue Yodel No. 1, T for Texas, became his first hit, propelling him to national fame. The Carter family's songs, Wabash Cannonball, Can a Circle Be Unbroken, Wildwood Flower, Keep on the Sunny Side, and I'm Thinking Tonight of My Blue Eyes, have all become country standards. In class, we'll listen to Jimmie Rodgers' Blue Yodel No. 1, T for Texas, link below. Around the same time, singing cowboys like Gene Autry and Roy Rogers became popular in film, helping Western music find its own audience. Though both styles told stories about everyday life, country lyrics often focused on family and faith, and Western songs on wide open spaces, freedom, and the frontier. Gene Autry's 1939 song, Back in the Saddle Again, presents a joyful, down-to-earth celebration of the cowboy lifestyle and the freedom of the open range. It sings longingly of the wide skies, dusty trails, sleeping under the stars, and sense of being where you belong. We'll listen to Gene Autry's song, Back in the Saddle Again, in the 1941 film Back in the Saddle. As country and Western grew, differences grew, with country often staying rooted in the U.S. South and Appalachia in the South, with themes of home, heartbreak, and tradition. Western music, meanwhile, traveled with rodeos, railroads, and Hollywood productions, telling stories of cowboy life in the vast changing landscape. But both styles held on to their connection with place and the natural world. Country music doesn't only tell personal stories, it speaks to the concept of place, particularly those places at risk. John Prine's 1971 song, Paradise, offers a perfect example. Prine sings about Muhlenberg County, Kentucky, a picturesque ecosystem demolished by development, particularly strip mining, filled with longing for a lost landscape. The song recalls the way of life vanishing in the name of industrial progress. When Prine sings of the green river where paradise lay, and how Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away, he gives voice to the land and those poor folk who call the Appalachian Mountains home. This sort of ecological storytelling displays country music's most genuine power, asking big questions through simple lyrics, challenging people to consider what we value, what we lose, and whether progress is always worth the cost. In doing so, Paradise reminds listeners that country music is more than banal nostalgia. It raises critical questions deeply rooted in place. We'll listen to John Prine singing his classic song Paradise on the Marty Stewart Show in 2010. The 1972 John Denver song Rocky Mountain High became an anthem of Western ecological consciousness. The lyrics speak on multiple levels. On the first, it reveals the sublimity of the Colorado mountains and the individual freedom found in the wilderness. On another level, it echoes a spiritual and emotional relationship to those mountains while critiquing the impact of tourism and development. On yet a third level, Denver intertwines personal sorrow into his celebration of nature, mourning the death of a friend, a loss that deepens his reflection on the fragility of both human life and the natural world. We'll listen to John Denver performing his hit Rocky Mountain High on his 1995 special, The Wildlife Concert. After World War II, country music began to transform, and smoky bars and jukeboxes, a coarser style, emerged, telling stories of despair and hard living. This was honky-tonk music, with a raw sorrow that hit a chord with working-class audiences. Hank Williams became the voice of this subgenre with songs like Your Cheatin' Heart and I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Williams combined simple melodies with aching lyrics about love lost. The steel guitar appears as a signature sound of honky-tonk music, along with a weeping singing style. Honky-tonk never shied away from grief. It leaned into it, giving voice to real-life, everyday battles of broken hearts. Listen to Hank Williams' 1949, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. By the 1950s and 60s, country music producers in Nashville wanted to replicate the more polished sound recording engineers were getting in other genres. They developed the Nashville sound, blending country and pop music elements, including orchestral strings, backup vocals, and cleaner production. Patsy Cline and Jim Reeves became stars, crossing over to mainstream audiences. Songs like Cline's Crazy, written by Willie Nelson, kept the emotional storytelling of country, wrapped in a silkier, more radio-friendly package. Cline's emotional delivery and smooth phrasing helped redefine what a country star could sound like, influencing future stars like Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, and today, Casey Musgraves. Kentucky-born country star Loretta Lynn became known for her tough, self-confident songwriting, combining her bold personality with the smooth Nashville sound. The polished production often softens the edges of the intense messages, enabling her popularity with both country enthusiasts and mainstream fans. We'll listen to Loretta Lynn's 1966 hit, You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man. Link below. The 1970s saw some country musicians rebel against the polished Nashville sound, creating a grittier style that revisited honky-tonk's raw roots. Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings typify this era, fighting for more creative freedom from the music industry. These outlaw country artists sang about life on their own terms, hard living, independence, and breaking the rules. With rougher edges, their music attracted listeners who grew tired of the mainstream. The Townes Van Zandt song, Poncho and Lefty, famously performed by Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson in 1983, became one of outlaw country's defining songs, revealing the genre's rebellious storytelling heart. The song tells of Poncho, a legendary bandit living free and wild, betrayed by his companion Lefty. It presents a haunting bittersweet ballad about friendship, betrayal, loyalty, and the harsh realities of life on the run. We'll listen to Pancho and Lefty, sung by Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson in 1983. Today's country music continues to draw from the deep well of the genre, blending modern influences such as pop, rock, and hip-hop. Chris Stapleton echoes the emotion of Hank Williams in his soulful vocals and bluesy guitar work. Casey Musgraves echoes the gentle storytelling and polished style of Patsy Cline. Luke Combs draws on themes of everyday working-class life, shaped by the honky-tonk tradition. Taylor Swift uses her personal storytelling in the tradition of Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton, who were both also crossover stars. Musgrave's Grammy-winning album, Golden Hour, was closed by her song Rainbow, a tender ballad of hopefulness and comfort, written for anyone going through hard times. Modest piano accompaniment and restrained vocal delivery advances a new take on the Nashville sound tradition. Listen to Casey Musgrave's 2018 song Rainbows, link below. Country and Western music, from mountain folk songs to modern tearjerkers, is rooted in storytelling, place, and the lives of ordinary people, shaped by nostalgia, change, and the voices of people and the land they love. These songs tell and retell us that music embraces memory, meaning, and identity across generations. There we go. I also had the AI generate after writing this, generate a timeline for country music based on this. We have the different eras, roots and origins, early recording era, the scene, cowboys and western, honky tonk, the Nashville sound, outlaw country, and modern country. Have a great day.